This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
This is The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Cremian and Sheila Dunn already had hers. Welcome to the off-season, where I'll be recapping entire seasons of iconic Australian reality shows from the archives. This week, I'm joined by my fave fangirl, Shane Nicklos, who said that even though Drag Race Down Under was the last thing on my mind, it would be a tragedy not to recap it in this off-season. RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2 first aired in July 2022 on Stan in Australia, TVNZ in New Zealand, the BBC in the UK, Crave in Canada, and of course, Wow Presents Plus everywhere else. The franchise is the second international spin-off to include RuPaul as a host after the UK version, and after a controversial first season, returned for a second and third instalment, and we've also had confirmation it's back later this year for Season 4. Shane Nicklos, welcome back to The Cringe is Real.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm back again.
You are.
The sequel.
And this time we're talking RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2.
The best by far, I say.
I reckon. I think it's... I don't think we're offending anyone by saying that.
No.
It's quite established.
I think
and
it's quite
not
established
personal.
within the contestants as well.
Yes, but it's not, it's not the cast's fault, but I just feel like it was a tighter season. There was some storyline.
Yep.
We had, drama.
Yep, there were roller coaster rides.
There was wheelies on stage. It was great.
There was too.
Before we get into it, what has got you cringing this week, babe?
Well, this week, my cringe, which is a bit lame, is just those two guys that are suing Madonna for being late.
I haven't seen this.
Have you not seen
No.
this? So there's two guys from New York who are suing Madonna for being late because she's late to her concert. And
But she's Madonna. Everyone knows she's
Right?
fucking late to everything.
How lame is that?
Remember when she did a show at the Forum?
Yep.
And she was like, was it
4
hours late?
Supposed to start at 8:30 and came on at 1.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what
And
did they
everyone
say?
was like, I would expect that from Madonna.
Listen to this. The lawsuit filed by Michael Fellows and Jonathan Haddon accuses Madonna, Live Nation and the Barclays Centre of unconscionable, unfair and or deceptive trade practices, calling the start time a wanton exercise in false advertising, as well as a breach of contract.
Wonton? Why gotta be wonton? Look, as
Wonton.
our queen Caroline Gaultier says, it's better to be late than ugly.
Correct.
So
It just
fuck
makes me
off.
think of the episode of Sex and the City where she's like, I'm so fucking bored of New York. And then she falls out the
yes.
window. I can't remember what her character's name is, but it's Kristen...
Yeah.
She's the actor. You know the actress I'm talking
Charlotte.
about. No, not Charlotte.
No.
No.
Oh.
She was a guest star. She's her real name in life is Kristen something. It's not Kristen Stewart. It's Kristen something else. Because Kristen Stewart's
Not Christian Stewart.
Isn't she in Twilight?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my cringe of the week. It's lame as fuck.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Drag Race. It's all happening again, of course. It's the
It
new
is.
year. It's the Ru year. Are you enjoying season 16 so far?
I am so far.
Yeah.
I find with these later American seasons, from say 13 onwards, it takes me a bit longer to get into the queen because there's so fucking many of them.
Like 400.
There's fucking so many of them. But I already have a few that I'm like in the bin.
Plain Jane.
She's
Where are you
like-
living?
Do you know? Look, she looks okay, but her personality sucks balls.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's like putting it on for the camera.
Oh, totally.
Or if she's
Gotta be.
actually, I reckon there's a little from column A and a little from column
Yeah,
B.
yeah.
Like she's putting on for the camera and she's going to play it off as she's putting on for the camera, but she's actually probably a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Get it.
Um,
Get the edit.
some of the
I
other
say.
ones, like the Miami girl with the big ass.
The BBL queen. Her
Yeah.
whole personality is, I got a BBL. Like, yes, we can see that.
Not interested.
I don't
Next.
know. Have you seen that meme where it's like, you just know she runs a Sephora like it's the Navy? like at the like a counter.
just-
I'm like,
she
yes, I can
literally-
see her at like David Jones.
She's
on Burke
literally
Street,
100%.
Like, yeah, whipping some twinks into shape. Yeah, it's good. I mean, the split premiere, I'm kind of done with, if I'm honest. Because I don't like them in these groups, and then like weirdly puts them in these groups for no reason.
It's
Not into
television.
that.
It's drama. It's television.
Oh, yeah.
It's turning into Survivor.
Well, it is, and then the immunity potion, which is just a fucking idol.
Yeah, literally.
They seriously are done with ideas.
Yeah,
the
there's-
production said, "Oh, I'm watching Survivor at the moment. Let's do
An immunity.
the immunity like G vial."
Which is
Do
a
you think
death-
it looks like a little?
It is.
Potion? It looks like a sleep
You know, it's
potion.
it's from Death Becomes Her, though.
Oh,
That's where
of
it's from.
course. Oh,
Yeah. That's why
course.
when they were saying in the first episode, when they were saying in the episode just gone recently, that she says, oh my God, she referenced, she's like, now a warning, which is what Meryl Streep says in the movie after she drinks it.
Okay, that's actually quite cute.
Yeah.
That was lost on me.
Showing my age there.
So high level thoughts on Down Under season 2. This is one of my favourite seasons in the Runiverse. Mini Cooper, star.
Absolute star. Messy Minnie. Messy
Messy
strikes
Minnie
again.
carried the season, let's be honest.
Yeah, she did. She. I mean, we'll talk about it like later on.
Friend of the pod, Mini Cooper.
Yeah, friend of the pod. I watched Bring Back My Girls recently as well.
Yes, we will be talking about that as well.
Too,
Mhm.
because, in hindsight, really, you're right. She did. She kind of carried it until she was eliminated, of course.
Yeah. I want like a 10-part Netflix document, like investigation, like murder investigation style Netflix doco about Minnie and Pamara. Like from the start.
That would be riveting
It
viewing.
would be so good.
It's so Sydney-centric. Yeah. Amazing.
Totally good. Queen Kong as well. Like the whole top three, I think Queen, Spanky and Hannah were like one of the strongest top threes ever. Like I had no idea who was going to take it. I remember watching it the final live with some friends at the Pinnacle with the Beastie Girls viewing parties, which were really fun.
I remember that actually, yeah.
And I was like, I have no fucking idea who's going to take it.
You're right, actually. Yeah, for me, I was like, God, I hope it's Spanky.
Yeah,
because she's just like a fucking hot mess, but that personality is killer, right?
And she just fell in, like she's
so charming.
Our hearts.
She's
stole
so
our
fucking
hearts.
charming.
She didn't wear pants once the entire season.
She did. No,
She had flat, thirsty hair. But rewatching now, wow, she's actually quite inspirational.
She is.
In a genuine way. Like, I was like, oh, so I can see why. And that clicked with Rue.
Yeah.
Rue loves a story.
Yeah.
And like someone that's like a pillar of the community.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm with you there, 100% agree. Yeah.
Let's get into it. The first episode is called Grand Opening. We learn the cash prize has gone up this time. So it was a $50K cash prize.
Fabulous.
Entrances. We get Hanaconda. She's first in a butterfly look.
Watch out for snakes down under.
She tells us she's going to slither around our hearts and suffocate you till you all fall in love. And she's reused that in the Meet the Queens for UK versus the world too. She's like, I'm going to suffocate you all with my love.
My big snake.
She goes, I'm ready to get gay, get girly. Faux Fur comes in next going, like just screeching.
Oh,
It needs to be like a trigger warning for Faux Fur, like for the bat community. She fumbles her first go and they keep it in the edit, which is shady as fuck, but I kind of love it.
So good.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
She goes, you want to lay off that MSG before you get addicted to me? And then she just screams her way through the one episode she's in.
I'm a bit older, right? So I've lost my hearing. So I remember turning the hearing up for that one and then going, oh, fuck,
Turn
turn
it
that
straight
down.
back down.
Turn it straight back down because that was loud enough.
She was great. Spanky's next. She goes, I may be a sheep fucker from New Zealand, but at least I didn't have to tie my kangaroo down.
Which is such a local reference.
The international audience would have just checked out that moment. It would have been like, hang on, it's 2 minutes in and we're talking about
Sheep fucking.
bestiality. Yeah. Anyway, and she
So
goes, I've always
good.
got my bum out. Beverly Kills comes in acid green number. She looks a little bit like a spooky girl, but not quite fully.
Cracking that
I
week.
think to this day she's still the only Brisbane
She is,
queen
yeah.
that's ever been on the show.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know.
They've got great talent up there.
Do they?
No, they do. I follow a bunch of them and they're like, there's some There's some servage. Maybe season 4 will be the Queensland season.
Maybe I'll
Who
tell you
knows?
offline my thoughts on Brisbane.
Oh, okay. Minnie Cooper's next. She's got the looks of Kate Blanchett and the voice of Chris Hemsworth. She's definitely not boring.
She goes real fast.
She goes real well once you get inside her. She's so funny. The girls are all gagged that she's 50. They're like, you look amazing. And she goes, yes, I know. Same can't be said for all of you.
So many.
Molly Poppins comes in. I slept on Molly, I'm not going to lie, because she's kind of like, I don't know, I'd never heard of her before.
Same.
And the look, I was a bit like, oh, yeah, but she fucking grew on me.
I'm with you there.
And
I'm exactly the
rightfully
same.
made it as far as she did, I think.
Yeah,
in the
agreed.
end. But at the start, I was a bit like, Villa Queen, who knows?
Literally had the same thought process.
And I've met her since, and she's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Yuri ate the entrance. I think she won the entrance looks.
Yuri is like underrated.
Oh, hugely.
So fucking underrated.
Hugely. And so lovely, so gorgeous.
If we ever do an All Stars or something, she needs to come back.
I kind of low-key want her on Dragula.
Yes.
I don't know if she would do that, but
Yeah, I reckon
I think
she would.
they would benefit from having her on. And they do cast internationally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she goes, did someone forget to take out the trash? Oh, yeah. Pamara's next. So the whole mini Pamara thing, it's like, it's supposed to be controversial, but I still don't understand.
It's
Can you
about-
explain it to me?
I think it's about respect.
Oh,
And as I'll talk about in Bring Back My
Mm-hmm.
Girls, and as Minnie talks about in that, it comes down to, I think it's all that mentoring thing that Minnie did with Pamara, and Pamara was just entitled. And I can, as someone who's experienced drag quite a bit before Drag Race,
There was drag before Drag Race.
I think
RuPaul didn't invent drag in 2009 or whenever it started.
Minnie just wanted to be heard, and I think Pamara just
Totally.
fobbed her off as
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
old queen who doesn't know
Totally.
anything, which is not
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. Aubrey Hive goes, it's good to be home. Oh,
she's all right.
she's cute. She's a baby queen.
Yeah.
Started in lockdown.
Yeah, I'd like to see her in 5 years.
Well, I mean, I've seen her recently, and because she's a big part of the Melbourne drag scene now, and like, she's great. She's very musical theatre, very trained. She's
stepped
got
her pussy up.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah,
I think
great.
she's like come into her own a bit because she literally just fucking started drag and then got the call to go to NZ. So crazy.
That's what this show is. It's a training ground.
Yeah, it really is. I'd actually like to see her come back. She goes, I started in the pandemic, and Minnie goes, I started in the pandemic too, but in the 1920s. Da-dum-tsh. So the one-liners from Minnie are just, like this is,
So
5
good.
minutes in at this point, and she's
Yeah.
already like stealing the show. Then Mother Queen walks in, and they all die because they're like, and we get this great edit where it's like, oh my God, Queen Kong's here. She's
See,
a legend.
I didn't know about Queen
Oh, didn't
Kong
you?
until
Okay.
down into season 2.
I had because of like briefs and stuff, that kind of crew and
Oh,
like the festival circuit.
Do you know what? I probably
Yeah.
did, but not taken notice because
Honestly?
I was too busy staring at the fucking half-naked boys.
That checks out.
100%.
Totally.
Hi, Dale.
Yeah, so I mean, I knew she had a big reputation, and plus, you know, going to Adelaide a bit for the Fringe and stuff. Like I'd seen her there because she's iconic in the scene there. RuPaul arrives. There's a very funny gag now where Ru proves to everyone that she's actually there
Yeah.
in person, and she gets Spanky to slap her in the face. They do a sausage sizzle photo shoot.
Bunnings inspired.
But which was quite cute. They bring out that huge,
It's so
girthy sausage, and it's like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And Minnie Cooper wins the first mini challenge, which is fitting. And then they get a video message from Bindi and Robert Irwin.
That's
Which
right.
is camp.
Yeah.
It's actually quite camp. So this is this was 2022.
Yep.
There was still some COVID restrictions
Yep.
in New Zealand.
Yep.
So again, we had like a half guest judge, half video call
Yep.
season, which I wasn't thrilled about, but it was better than the season before where it was all pre-recorded videos.
Yeah.
But I'm obsessed with everyone thirsting over Robert Irwin because he's like 19 or something at the time of recording.
He can't
But
say
he's
that.
cute.
He's so cute. New host of I'm a Celebrity.
Is he?
Yeah,
Is he the host? He's replaced
Chris
what's it-
Brown.
Stop. I did not know that.
Him
Is he good?
Him and Julia Morris. It's not on yet.
Oh, him and Julie Morris. That's iconic.
There's something
I'm
for
not,
you.
that might even be enough to make me watch that show. I've never watched that show,
Oh my
and
God.
I love
Do you
Julie
need a
Morris.
guess for that? I've watched like
Here you go.
almost every
Maybe
season.
we do that. Oh, here we go. It's
Yes.
camp and show. It's actually really shady because they're like, what does Mindy say? She's like, yeah, Art Simone's Snatch Game of Me was really good. No, it wasn't. Or something.
Oh my God, she says that in season
Yeah,
one.
it's
Bring back my girls.
hilarious. Maxi Challenge design with recyclable materials, which I was like, straight off the I just they stitch these girls up like. Just let them do a ball or something. Let them
or like a photo shoot.
talent show. Like let them, do something.
And then a runway presentation. Like let them settle in.
Design challenge for first round.
I would be
don't
dead.
know. I would fucking know. Some of them obviously fumbling. Hannah's a little bit worried. She hasn't got that much experience sewing, but they're all able to kind of fudge it a bit.
Can I just say though?
Yeah.
How many seasons of Drag Race have we had across the
True.
world?
Do a sewing lesson.
Like, do what Maxi did in season 1. Do a fucking sewing lesson.
Yeah.
And I found out, like, because I follow Vanity, Wigs by Vanity.
oh yeah.
So they're good friends, right? So before season 1, Maxi got together with Vanity and created a pattern for her body. So that
Yeah, and you just take that with
she
you.
ran straight for the material that she could just create a pattern out, and she knew it would fit her straight away.
Clever
Which is why
girl.
she did so well.
Yeah. Spanky
Can't
tells us
so
that
do that.
faux fur is loud and annoying, and we get some really shady editing where they just piece in faux just being like,
I mean,
so good.
Where's the lie?
Spanky's not sure what her look's going to be, but she starts making some butterfly-inspired number that we'll get to.
with no pants.
And Queen changes her mind last minute. So they're all a bit panicked. I think, look, no one wants to be the first one out. They're all a bit panicked. Bev, we start to get a bit of a villain edit from Bev here. She expects a lot from the older queens. She's like, look, they're supposed to be legends, but I don't see anyone knowing how to sew. And
Brisbane.
I think Bev was doing what she was told from the producers, which fair play. Like, I think they were like, hey, why don't you ham it up a bit? Like, be shady. And she was like, sure.
She's 21.
Exactly, and she's young, and it does show a bit, and I think she actually grows a lot during the show, and I think watching her
Agreed.
back, she's grown a lot, and that's great. We're all about that. Main stage, Rue comes out in an orange one-arm poncho. Beverly's got like plastic bags, a see-through plastic bag. Look, Hannah and Molly look quite similar. They've done sort of like forest pixie thing.
Yes.
Because half of the fabric was like like fern fronds or something.
Was it beach themed?
Well, it was like Mother Nature. It was global warming, like recyclable materials, blah,
That's
blah, blah. And
From the tip.
a lot of them just stuck like leaves onto corsets. And they're all wearing black panties as well. Which, like, for context for people, like, they get the call they're doing this show and they get like 2 weeks or something. It's crazy. And then all the Aussie girls have even less time because they've got to fly to New Zealand, and at this moment they had to do quarantine.
Yeah.
So, yes, they wore black panties, RuPaul, because
that's all they had.
that's all they fucking had. Yuri, though, for me was the standout. Like, I've actually seen her in this look because she wore it to Drag Expo, and it was stunning. Minnie, Pamara, Aubrey, and Bev are safe. Queen gets red for the undergarments by Rue and Michelle.
Yeah.
Snooze.
Snooze.
I hate when they do that. They're like, you were wearing undergarments. Like, well, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course that.
Like,
it's drag.
But
Come
that
on.
means they've got nothing else to critique her on.
Yeah, true.
So, you know, they have got to pick something.
Yeah. Spanky gets red for the panties, and so she's in the bottom as well. So it's Spanky v Faux. This season as well has got the best lip sync songs, I reckon, of all the Down Under series. Because some of them,
it does.
It does. It sure does. But yeah, because it's straight up. We get out of my way, Kylie.
Yes,
is the first
banger.
week. It's like, thank you. I think they actually listened to a bit of like feedback from the first season, and they gave us some bangers.
So, just so you know, there's that Facebook group on Facebook called RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under that a mate of mine, Owen, and his partner Matt run, and there's producers are in it. So if you want to fucking give ideas to that,
I didn't know
comment in that group, and they read that. They read the comments.
Oh, I'm gonna send a link to this episode.
Do it. Post it in there. Do you use Facebook though?
Not really.
Yeah.
Back on the main stage, Molly wins. Hang on, what am I? Yeah, Molly wins the runway, and Faux and Spanky are in the bottom. So we get a Faux and Spanky lip sync to Get Out of My Way by Kylie, and it's good. And look, Spanky just kills it. She does the splits with no pants on. Faux doesn't seem to be that confident, and unfortunately she goes, which was a bit devoed, but it's this is the fucking thing with this show because it's so short. It's like eight episodes? Yeah, it's a short season.
You almost like with the and we did have a discussion of this just recently, but you kind of almost with these international seasons with only 8 episodes, almost want the first episode just to be a non-elimination,
Totally.
so that we just get to know the queens and they can settle in as well. But it is what it is.
Ep 2's called Cagey Queens. Lucy Lawless is the guest judge, which was great, really great.
Where's
And
Gabrielle?
they were being resourceful. They were like, who lives in Auckland that we can hit up? They hit up Ursula Carlson and Lucy Lawless. Great work.
And
production.
Lucy Lawless was like a judge on season 1 or 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
She was too.
US.
That's right. So it's even better. So
like,
she's going to do it.
Yeah. But also like how you bring the judge back from like 15 years ago. So awesome.
Yeah. Aubrey and Minnie clear the air about their Untucked. Yeah, so in the Untucked in the first step, Aubrey and Minnie kind of have a little bit of beef, and this starts the saga of like Minnie v everyone else, which is great. Acting challenge. What did you think of this one? It was the prisoner inspired one.
So as a prisoner Wentworth fan, I was like here for it. I wonder, like, I know Minnie would have totally got all the references. Yeah. And any of the older queens definitely would have got the references. The younger ones probably wouldn't have got the references. So, look, on the whole, it was fine.
Well, it's later revealed that Beverly Kills has never even seen Muriel's wedding.
That's
so,
yeah.
True. But I thought it was clever because, I mean, it would be pretty obvious if they did like a Home and Away or a Neighbours kind of themed acting challenge, but I like that they went with the prisoner Wentworth.
But it's popular overseas. So,
it is, and it's easy to make a prison drama kind of thing
and to
happen.
act like an absolute
yeah, and they all do. They all
they
all act like absolute fucking filthy bogans, and
filthy
it's
moles.
Actually quite funny. Like I didn't hate it as far as they go because I feel like the acting challenges on this show are like a snake eating its own tail.
Yes.
At this point, and some of them you're like, is this good? Is this bad? I don't know. What am I watching? And they all reference themselves now. Like even in this one, it's like, get those nuts away from my phone. And I'm like, no. Please stop doing that.
I think the last great acting challenge was probably Wig Loose from season 15.
Oh, so I can't remember that one.
Which is a musical anyway.
Oh, that was that was the one, the emotional one.
Yeah, where Anitra sings and then
that was great.
Sasha comes out and does her.
No, they did the Daytona Wind. And then they did it with the fart noises that they thought was so funny. And then they did it again.
Yeah, that
was like Daytona Wind 2 or whatever. No. Anyway, so this one wasn't too bad as they go. Spanky's everyone's mum. So Yuri is talking about like growing up in a religious family and stuff. It's actually she's got quite a sad story, and Spanky's there comforting her and like being this beautiful mother figure. Same. And then every episode she's just like imparting motherly wisdom to everyone. On the main stage, it's Fly Girl, Insects on the Runway is the category, which was weird. Again, I feel like they're still stitching them up. I don't know why, but that's not easy to do.
No. Also, Spanky did that outfit the episode earlier, so
she wears the same thing every week, but it's great. I thought that Molly's was the best. She said it was a slaying mantis. It was just like, because she's good at that like acid green kind of looks. And she had big eyes and stuff. Yeah, it was cute. And obviously Yuri, every week she was on, killed it.
Absolutely.
But the winner of the Max Challenge is Spanky. So she goes from being in the bottom 2 to winning. But she is a good actor.
Yeah, that's because of her acting chops. Because she knows how to, just work for the camera. Like, she's been on TV before. She's media trained. She's also 38. So
true. And she was on what's it called? Anita and Kata's show.
Yeah.
House of Drag.
House of Drag. Yeah.
She's on that, and she won that.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Bottom 2 is Aubrey and Queen, and then this song, it's I Touch Myself. Divinals. Fuck
so
yes.
fucking good. So fucking good.
Hats off to production again. And of course, Queen sends Aubrey home because it's Queen and she
can run
works
rings around
a
her.
fucking we saw her at a drag brunch thing last year, and it was insane. It was
amazing.
the tiniest room, and she was jumping off chairs and flipping on tables.
I saw her support Sasha Colby and Anitra at the forum, and she did that barrel roll that she does.
Barrel, it's like the Donkey Kong barrel roll. I'm obsessed with it.
So good, so good.
Ep 3 is my favourite of the season. It's the bottomless brunch. So I think this challenge should be like a Down Under staple. I think they should do it every year. It's where they have to host a brunch, which I'm like, great. And this is, because for me, this is like where the strengths lie.
Yeah.
In the drag scene down here.
Yes.
They're funny and they're good at hosting and all that shit.
Off the cuff comedy, reading girls for, Yeah.
So, I mean, it really was kind of just like a stand-up comedy challenge, but with a bit of a twist. So some of them took it and turned it into a roast. Some of them did like bits. And we get Chris Parker, who I love, who's from the Male Gaze podcast. I don't know if you listen to that.
No,
He's a big deal in Zid. Gay comedian.
Tim
He's on all the
Sims.
shows over there. He's Tim Sims to you. Love. We get Chris Parker. And Ursula Carlson is the guest judge.
Oh,
She's
yes.
so fucking funny.
Yes, she is, and a queer icon.
Like, just
big old lesbian.
Put her on every season as well.
She's so fucking
I wouldn't
good.
even mind like interchangeable her and Reese every week, like Ellen and Graham.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reese, but I would love that.
No. I'm with you. It just also adds just a bit of a different lens to it, you know.
She's good. Mini challenge is the old get the pit crew out and get them in their jocks, which is hot. This is where we meet the soon-to-be iconic Ben from the Pit Crew season 3 when he wins the reading challenge next year. Sexy thick boy. Hi, Ben.
I've forgotten all about that.
Molly is a thirsty girl and she wins 5K. Thanks to Bonds. Bonds is a good sponsor, I think. To have.
Sponsor.
Very Aussie. And then they pair up the girls. It's Molly and Hannah, Yuri and Spanky, Pamara and Bev, and Queen and Minnie.
Great.
This is great. So this is where Queen talks to Hannah about cultural appropriation, and it's done in a fucking tasteful and respectful way. So
it comes out that Hannah has had some past regression, like past instances of being a
some
bit
stuff. I think she wore some geisha looks or whatever, and she's like really owned it in a genuine way, and she's gone and done like anti-racism workshops and done all this stuff to be a better person. And Queen says, yes, I see the work that you've done to become an ally, and I love you. And it's like a really great moment to see that growth is being rewarded, because we don't get that a lot, especially around, like, this was a couple of years ago. We was just coming out of all that cancelled culture around the height of COVID. And I think unfortunately season 1 was like caught up in that in a way. I mean, obviously very different characters and we're not going to talk about them, but like this, I thought righted those wrongs in a way almost.
It did, because that person from season 1, I don't think they do drag anymore.
No.
And because of that, because they basically were on the show and got completely cancelled by, but I also don't think they owned it as well as Hannah did.
Absolutely not. And that's Hannah's showing us what you should do.
Correct.
As a white person and as an ally, is you shut up, you listen, you do better, and you do work.
Yeah. And this is where Queen, because sometimes some people can go a bit off someone if they're really preachy and down someone's right. This is where Queen's like, no, this is how it is, and I can see, and you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
They don't dwell on it and they don't make it a big deal, but it's a nice moment, and they give Queen the microphone.
Correct.
And that's what did not happen in season 1. It was like awkwardly handled. Anyway, they rehearsed their bits with Reese and Chris. And then it's time for the main stage. And they're all I actually think they're all really good.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, sort of Yuri and Spanky. Oh, also, sorry, quickly, Yuri's fucking eye. There's like a medical emergency in this episode as well.
Oh my
This
God, what
episode is
happens again?
chaos. Yuri's like eye, she gets like, shoves a makeup brush in her eye or something and ends up going to hospital.
That's right.
And then they rush her back.
That's right.
And she has to like quickly do her looks and
That's
everything.
right.
It's
I remember that.
amazing.
It's chaotic. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Bev and Palmar open. They actually make some good jokes. Like, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. But they make like one fumble, which is very highlighted in the edit. We get the
You gotta have, you know, it's gotta have something leading
the
towards the end of
crickets
the
chirping.
episode.
Yeah. And they end with this toast. It's a bit weird. Back in the workroom, Yuri's like back from the doctors and she's just like slapping on some face.
With a
She looks
spatula.
good. Like, yeah. Molly and Hannah are next. It's very cute. Molly makes a joke about her foreskin being a balloon, farting in her foreskin to make a balloon, which I was like,
Oh my God, I'd
wow.
So Australian.
So good.
Filthy.
And then Spanky and Yuri just fucking eat. Like, they do this whole... So Chris Parker tells them, fuck the Aussie girls, like, lean into being your Kiwi girls. So they do this Kiwiana brunch. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like flight attendants.
Yep.
And it's great.
And you can see there's a friendship blossoming there. And like you saw at the second episode where Yuri was talking about his family, but like they probably know each other, but they're now going to be friends for life from this show.
Totally.
Which is beautiful to watch. So
Queen is dressed as a volcano goddess.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of my favourite looks of the season.
Yeah.
She looks so good. And Minnie does like a beautiful like AIDS tribute look because the theme's red. So she does like a red ribbon.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And Michelle really appreciates that as a strong pillar of the community herself.
who was around.
Of that age.
Of that age, yeah. Who was around.
Yeah, and then Spank and Yuri win, which is hilarious because fucking
They should have.
she's been in hospital with like pus coming out of her eye. So iconic. I feel like they didn't like champion that enough.
Rightly so.
They love Queen. They're obsessed at this point. On the main stage, Minnie shares some stories about back in the day losing friends.
Teaching the
children. And
which we need.
We get Bev and Pamara are in the bottom too, and they lip sync to Starstruck, Years and Years feat Kylie. So it's like
that feels
more
correct.
Kylie. It felt good. I actually really liked that song.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good song. But that is the correct bottom two for that episode.
How do you feel about Ollie Alexander representing the UK for Eurovision?
Eurovision is coming for a win. They're taking it
they want
seriously
it,
now.
yeah, they want it
They're actually
bad.
finally taking it seriously.
And I heard the track's written by the dude that wrote Houdini.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're
Europe.
competing
They are.
all of a sudden.
The thing is that what the UK has against it is the whole Brexit thing, because as
Oh, they're still going about that. Shut up.
I know, but it's like it's so political, but they're coming for a win.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Pamara humps the ground, but Bev does some tricks
What a
and
segue.
splits and dips and wins. These lip sync, they're actually really good lip syncs all season as well. Like we'll get to it. The Mortal Kombat one is coming, but like
So good.
they're all really good.
Pamara humps
Pommy
the ground.
does.
That should be.
She's like,
yeah. That should be her.
Yeah.
Her. She should have that on a t-shirt actually.
Yeah. And she goes, and then this is when, so the next episode starts, and this is when they're all like, oh shit, you fuck with Minnie and you get sent home.
The curse of Minnie.
The curse of Minnie. They're like, oh shit, like Aubrey bye girl, Pamara bye girl, the Minnie curse. This episode is Snatch Game. Next,
Ooh, here we
Hannah
go.
is thirsty for the win.
Yeah.
This is the weird Rue mail where Rue's like, hey, you looking at me? Yeah.
Oh.
You know what it is. And they're all like, what the fuck? Like, where are the meds at this week? And they kind of throw a bit of shade at season 1. They're like, oh, look, last year wasn't a great snatch, so we're going to make it up to you this time.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're told. Spanky's like, sorry about it. You're welcome. Spanky does Barry Humphries as Dame Edna.
Right.
How did you feel about that?
I mean, Spanky is from this region of the world, but she's not Australian.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like she was missing a bit of the context there.
Yeah,
as
might
well.
not know the full intricacies of what Barry
I
had
think in
said.
New Zealand, maybe they still think that he's like loved and cherished by the queer community.
Yeah,
but
and that's not...
he's actually not.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Yeah.
He
But-
would have been if he just shut his mouth.
But it was still good, and I still think like doing Dame Edna is great.
Yes.
It's like if someone was to do a Chris Lilly character.
Yeah.
I'd still love it, but I'd also be a bit like, oh, okay. Which
2015.
I'm still waiting for someone to do that. Well, speaking
Jermaine.
of,
Someone needs to do Jermaine.
well, Minnie's Alan wig gets mistaken for Mr. G. Someone's like, is that Mr. G? And I was like, yes. And then when she's like, nah, it's Ellen, I was like, oh, thank you very much, I'm Ellen.
The only characters that they could do would be Jermaine or Mr. G.
Yeah, true.
You
Oh,
couldn't-
yeah, no one's...
Couldn't do...
Or imagine like a Pacific Islander queen comes on this show and does like a reclamation of Jonah.
Jonah. Oh my God, that would be
that would
the
actually
best.
be like
That would be
a little
iconic.
bit fucked, but iconic.
Yeah.
I'd
And
be
the other
here.
one that they could do would be from not Summer Heights, We Can Be Heroes is what's the one where she rolls to the rock?
Oh,
She's
Pat
got-
Mullins.
Pat Mullins,
That would be
that's
fun. Someone should do it, but yeah, I don't know. Molly as Orville Peck, this was such a bad choice.
Yeah, it was a very bad
Poor
choice.
thing. I think she was trying to do that thing where it's like you pick someone that's like a bit of an enigma and you just do whatever you want with it, but
Yeah.
she fucked it up.
Orville Peck's a great character, but no, it's got to be executed right.
Yeah.
So,
Hannah just eats it up.
next to Alexis Michelle,
Yeah.
doing like Liza.
yeah.
This Liza was probably on par, if not better.
Yeah, and because
So,
it was a different Liza.
yeah.
The little bits with the song, like the shish it out wild, like that was genius.
so good.
She was just so silly, and yeah, if you're silly and you're having fun, I think Rue appreciates that.
Yeah.
In the snatch, Minnie goes ham as Ellen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you very much, I'm Ellen. I love
Look,
it.
when she first said it, I was like, yeah, where can you go with this? But it's just got to be done right. It was
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Queen as Nene Leaks was... I was so excited because, you know, I'm a housewives girly.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was a bit cringe, but there were some moments that were actually good. Like when she was like, I see you, to Rue, that was good.
Yeah.
Yuri's Courtney Love was very well played, I thought, as a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just pick someone that's like you.
Yeah.
Like a bit trashy.
Kind of like what
Great.
Adele.
Oh,
Adore Delano did.
Did you-
Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith. That
Yeah.
was
Iconic.
fucking iconic.
Yeah.
Leader. Yeah. But it's a good strategy. You just pick someone who, is similar to you. Yeah. Orville Peck flops. Spanky's is good, but yeah, I don't know. She does all these like vagina jokes as well, which I'm just a bit like, oh, can't we move away from that, please?
Yeah, that's
Gay
she
men.
doesn't have the context. She
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
And in the workroom, Minnie's really worried that she's bombed. Which, look, I didn't think it was that bad. It was the same as like Art being too enthusiastic with the bindi. It was the same thing. They need to just dial it back a bit.
Yeah. Dial it back.
On the main stage, Rue's wearing the iconic villain cloak. Remember this made the rounds? Like a Halloween costume.
Oh my God,
And
I
the
forgot about
runway is Cirque du Soleil. And we get Minnie's chaotic wheelies.
Oh, that's
look
right.
With the
When she's-
clown. So good.
Oh my
She
God,
calls
that
it
was-
Boogie Nights on acid.
I'd forgotten about
Right.
that. God, it was so bad.
Yeah. I really like Yuri's look here. It's like sexy tattooed lady.
Yeah.
And Hannah's Harlequin look stunning. Hannah's look every week.
And she's
Flawless.
absolutely flawless. Yeah.
And Molly's Candy Floss Clown. Love that one too.
What was
Honourable
Queen's
mention.
again? I forget what was
Queen was a bearded lady.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bev
yeah.
was a lion tamer. So they all
She-
took a different spin on it. Good theme. I thought it was a good theme. Good runway. Queen Kong is the only one that's safe. And Minnie's in trouble. She admits she was drowning a bit during Snatch Game. She's good. You know, we like a self-aware queen.
Yeah.
And then in Untucked, Bev is in a filth. And she's like... Doing Liza feels a bit like cheating.
She's just fucking angry.
And she's showing a lack of maturity here, I think.
Yeah.
She's like upset with herself. She wishes she's like, I should just be able to back myself.
Wait, what did Bev do again?
She did host of Glow Up,
That's right.
whose name escapes me.
Ding Dong. That one.
Look, I've never seen that show, so I didn't get it. But the British accent wasn't on point for me.
And Australians should know how to do a British accent.
Totally, it's not that hard. Minnie thinks it's Bev and her, and she's right. In the bottom two, that is. And on the main stage, Hannah is, of course, the winner.
That's correct.
Bev sends Minnie home to Gaga's Dance in the Dark.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure haunts Minnie to this day.
Love Minnie, and as we've sort of spoken about, like carrying the season a little bit up until that point.
Yeah.
But that runway was, girl. Sorry, Minnie girl, if you're listening, and you probably agree with me, but
yeah, she was so fun though. Like,
but she's so
bring
fun,
her back.
like-
She has to come back on another season of some sort.
Oh, we hope so.
We hope so. We love you, Minnie. Episode 5 is the girl groups, Bosom Buddies.
Here we go.
I actually really liked this song.
This was a great,
really good track.
yeah, really good track, really good ep.
Good ep too, yeah. The song was kind of like the Veronicas meets Lord,
Yeah.
or something. It was kind of silly and upbeat.
Yeah. There's no Bing Bang Bong, but
No,
it was
of
it
course
was
not.
it was fun.
Pit Crew Daddy Max brings in the shades, and we do the libraries open.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of my favourite parts of every season. This one was actually pretty good. Queen kills it, and she says she prefers Spanky's original drag name, Bigfoot. I thought that was a good one. It was like, yeah, they have some fun. Spanky does this quick fire thing, and it kind of flops. And Queen wins.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Just as a side note, it's a Drag Race related question. Just give me one of your favourites reads of all time from any season.
Oh,
Can you
babe.
remember one?
If I hadn't had somewhere between 500 and 700 standard drinks yesterday at Midsummer Carnival, I'd have one for you. But
I've got one.
I'll go, please.
The one where Katya reads Roxy in All Stars Season 2 and says, I think about you all morning, especially at the bus stop.
Oh, that is iconic.
It's one of the best ones ever.
It's always better on All Stars because they've got stuff.
Yeah.
They've got more ammunition from watching their previous seasons.
So good.
The girl groups are Babs, the broke-ass bitches, Hannah, Queen and Spanky, who we later find out of the top 3, and the Hung Divas, which I thought was a funny name, Bev, Molly and Yuri. Yuri kind of fumbles the recording sesh with Michelle, and then you can tell that they're a bit thrown off.
Does she? TV.
True.
Yeah.
But
yeah, fair enough.
I actually really liked Yuri's verse. I thought it was quite funny. But, you know, so Queen and Bev aren't vibing in the workroom. The group kind of go Bev a bit here. This is when I'm like, I want to know how much of it is putting it on for the cameras and whatever. But yeah, so Queen kind of calls out Bev and she apologises. And I feel like we don't see the full story here either.
No.
Queen gets really upset by the drama and she spirals a bit. And you feel for her because you know that it's a pressure cooker environment and she's got all the pressure of her community on her shoulders and she wants to do really well.
Yeah.
They just don't really clash.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, they don't really vibe. They
Yeah.
do clash.
It's funny because I think they make up later on.
They do, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to have your ebbs and flows, Sam. You know.
Well, that's why this was such a great season because we got all of that journey. On the main stage, Babs do really well. The choreo is a little bit basic, but they're all very funny though.
Yeah.
And the Hung Divas have a little bit more fun choreo. And I actually really like Yuri's verse. I didn't think either of them were bad.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
But there was like the personality of the two groups. Like clearly, there's a clear winner there.
Yeah. And then I loved this runway theme. It was the belts, buckles, and chains one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then they get to do Tina Arena chains, and it's like the sexy remix.
Another iconic Australian
Really good.
lip sync
It's
song.
Yuri and Molly in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
It's the S&M remix change. And sadly, we say bye to Yuri.
Yeah, I know, which is a shame.
But she leaves us with wise words, live fast and eat ass.
I do that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Next week is the Hometown Honey. So another good challenge. They have to sell they usually sell a product or something. This is they have to sell their hometowns, like
Is
a
it-
tourism campaign.
Yeah,
Love.
yeah.
They should do this again as well. Liked this. Barmy, so good. And we get
Yes.
a little video message from Samantha Harris, who's gorgeous, and Suzanne Paul is there.
Samantha Harris.
So Harris is like Miss Australia or the
Oh,
supermodel.
that's right. Yeah.
Supermodel.
I was thinking the other one, who's on the project now.
Oh, who's
Studio 10. Sam Harris.
Is there another? Is it
That's
Sam?
Sarah Harris.
Oh, Sarah Harris. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
babes.
no,
I've forgotten.
Queen is in her head a little bit still, and this is really nice. She kind of apologizes to the group for bringing the mood down last week. She's like,
love a self-aware queen.
yeah, she's like, look, I pretty much did a big stinky fart in the room last week and brought it down the mood, and then does her best to bounce back here. Bev does the GC as her
The GC.
the GC,
As in
the Gold Coast.
the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because she's from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Molly does Newcastle. I actually really like Molly's. It's like a party bus thing.
It's perfect for Newcastle, though.
Bev's is confusing though because she's like playing this lesbian character, but then she's looking for a sugar daddy, which Michelle says to her like that doesn't make sense. You realise, and she's like, yeah, I know, and then doesn't change it.
She should have just done a meter maid.
Well, no. So in this episode, we get 2 meter maids on stage.
Yeah, but that's what Bev
Is it this
should have
one?
done.
Yeah, it's a swimsuit category, and we
Yeah.
get Molly and Bev both dressed as meter maids. It's so weird. It's like, yeah.
Or she should have just done Muriel. Because
She
that's
She
GC.
doesn't know who that is.
No,
But
she doesn't know who that is. That's true.
Spanky looks great on the main stage actually as Pam Ann.
Mm-hmm. Smart move there.
So we get it's always Barmy and Palmy, but Hannah's Middle Perth is actually the best. It's so good. She has like a fight with a black swan, and then she goes cruising at Kings Park. And she ends up combusting on the beach at the end. It's actually perfect.
Oh my God, I'm not
It's
from
really
Perth.
funny.
I've been to Perth once
Yeah.
as an overnight for work, but I even got the references. So it's so good. So
Did you
good.
just-
Well, talk about
Bev's
King's
pissed that everyone... Oh, because they all get asked on stage, who do you think should go?
Yeah.
And they all pick Bev. And Bev picks Queen. And then she's like, I knew you were all going to pick me. Blah, blah, blah. And then Hannah's kind of like, well, if you want some feedback, I don't think you feel that authentic. And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, fuck off, Hannah. Stop telling me how to be. Just leave me alone. And she puts on a stunning performance.
This is my moment.
Yeah, it's her moment. And then we get the Mortal Kombat slayage that is this lip sync. So good.
Queen barrel roll Kong.
This
Yep,
was
yep.
finally when like people were actually like sharing this online and stuff, being like, you should watch Down Under.
Yeah.
Queen and
What was
Bev.
the song again?
It's To the Beginning by RuPaul.
Yeah, that's
So they always use at least one
licensing.
Ru song, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually, it's not, didn't annoy me that much. And Bev goes home.
By Bev.
The penultimate episode is the family makeover, which is my least favorite challenge. Do you like?
It depends on who they get.
I liked did you watch Canada's Drag Race this last season?
No.
It was actually really good, and the makeover was their own family members.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, duh, do that every year.
Yeah.
So good because it's 2 in 1. You get a makeover, and then you also get them all crying and shit.
Yeah.
Seeing their mum. Love. Genius.
It's like, what did they do for season 15?
I
They got
can't
those
remember.
women.
Oh, it was lesbians, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're gonna glam up these lesbians."
Yeah, but they were part of the crew.
Oh, was that maybe the year before?
The women from the crew. Anyway,
They're running out of ideas of who to
Yeah.
do the makeup. I just don't think it's because they always do it near the end, and there's not very many people left.
Yeah.
And then they have to pad out like an hour
Yeah.
with them just not doing a whole lot, and then there's no additional runway. So I don't think it's a good.
It's just all
Yeah.
dependent on who they bring in
Yeah.
and the chemistry they have with those people.
Yeah.
And if it's flat and not there, it's really not a great episode.
They get a video message from Daddy Murray Bartlett. It's so hot. He's just like there, just in
Same
jeans
words.
and a t-shirt, being like, "Hey,
Hey.
hey, girl." He's like,
Sorry,
"Who's your
just-
daddy?" And I was like, fuck me, he's
He
so
just
hot.
finished eating some ass on White Lotus and he came in and did a judging session.
And Hannah, it cuts to Hannah and she's like, I'd let him shit on my suitcase. I'm like, wow.
Such a good reference.
So good. So they bring out this guy, Keelan. They're like, Keelan's a fan of the show. And I was already like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I'm with you there.
And then they're like, here's his uncle and his dad and his cousin. And I was like, but we don't even know who this is.
Yeah.
So stupid. It's kind of funny. I like the uncle, actually. He's a bit Jats crackers.
Yeah.
And that's fun. That's fun. But Queen Kong wins with, I think it's the cousin, Tyler,
Yep.
who's Sister Kong. And does a great job. They wear matching turbans.
And Molly gets to
stuff.
choose, doesn't she? Molly gets to choose because Molly won the season.
Yeah.
Molly gets to choose all of the who gets paired with who.
Who got who.
And she chose the gay guy for herself, but then he had a lot of opinions apparently.
That's right. Yeah, you never want the gay. You want
No.
You
You
want
want
the straight bro cousin, because then Rue's more impressed by the
Correct.
transformation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my other bee in my bonnet about this challenge, and then I'll move on, I promise, is that Michelle was harsh every time they do. She's like, "That's not family resemblance." I'm like, "Bitch, do you want them to look exactly the same?"
Yeah,
I
she
don't
does.
understand.
Yeah, I'm with you there actually, because she's such a ham about the family resemblance. But it's like you've got a 6'2" black man paired with a 5'4"
And then
lady. How are they going to be family resemblance?
But I'm thinking back to Art Simone's one where she had the Priscilla inspired look, and it was they were from the same universe. They looked identically in sync in that way, which made sense to me. And Michelle's like, "What? They're different colors," and it's like, it's like, then put in the brief, we're the same color.
Yeah.
End rant. Molly and Hannah bottom for the last time in the season.
That's a shame.
And it steps. It's heartbreak in this city with Michelle Visage.
Can I tell you something?
I'll move over to you.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
So there's a bit of an editing fail here
Go on.
because it's Steps and Michelle's version, right?
Yeah.
But what we actually heard on TV is the Steps version without Michelle.
Shut up. I was actually, when I was doing my notes for this, I was like, hang on, I don't hear Michelle's voice.
Yeah.
And that's what, so wow.
Yeah,
so they used the
one that aired. So they obviously got the intern to edit that episode. But the one that aired is just the Steps version. But the one they obviously played in the studio
Would have
was
had
Steps
Michelle.
and Michelle. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. As someone who knows,
Yeah.
I was very, very pleased.
It's a great track. I actually really like the song. And it's quite close, but Hannah takes it. And we say bye to Molly. I think Molly did so well on this show. I think she was really probably the most kind of solid and consistent.
Yeah.
Her and Hannah had a similar vibe. They just,
Yeah.
you knew what you were going to get every week.
Yeah.
And they just they kept their head up.
And Molly had more growth, I think.
Yeah,
Hannah was
probably.
quite consistent and at the top all the time, but Molly started maybe oh, where's this person? And she grew a bit more, I
Yeah,
think.
true. But I think she was a good casting choice
Agreed.
as well, because she'd spent some time, was it in Canada?
Yeah.
The drag scene there. So you can tell she'd sort of learnt a bit from being abroad. I don't know, I liked it.
She
I
wasn't
liked
just
Molly.
Newcastle-centric. Yeah,
Yeah,
She just-
we did that. Love a newie girl.
Mm.
The grand finale, we get a little highlights reel of the Babs sisters and Spanky's gunning for the crown. And so you were at this point rooting for Spanky.
100%. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Wanted Spanky to win, but would have been happy if all of them won.
I was the same. I was secretly kind of loving Spanky, but I guess I was also wanting the crown to come to Australia.
I was
Mind
always
you,
wanting the crown
Melbourne
to come to Australia.
kind of semi-claimed Spanky because she did start her drag career kind of kicked off over here, and then she went home and
Well, she had to go back
taught
home
the
for
children.
whatever reason.
Yeah, which we learn about that in this in the Jaffa chat with Rue and Michelle. She tells her story about having a good time in Melbourne, but then returning home.
I think they should do a Jaffa chat mid-season.
Do you?
Yeah, with some other queens. Because you want to just hear... Look at you. You're like, no. You're like, get
I
fucked.
don't think they should do a Jaffa chat at any point. I hate it.
Do you really?
It's so dumb. It started off good.
I
Now
like
it's like Rue just doing pop psychology. I don't know.
True. I don't know. Look,
It's part of the ceremony.
yeah, it is part of the ceremony, but I think it gives a chance to those queens who are struggling to show themselves on stage and that vulnerability, a chance to show themselves and might even the playing field out a bit.
I'm with you. I think you've got to just bring your trauma to the table.
Lay it out there.
I feel like, was it this week on season 16, Q?
Yes.
Just, they're literally in the workroom. There's like a group of 4 of them. And Rue's like, so, how's everyone's looks going? And Q's like, so
dead.
I was molested. And it's like, I was like, get it, bitch. You know this game. She just brings her trauma.
Yeah,
in
that's
a
actually how you...
unsolicited trauma dump.
Yeah.
But Rue ate it up.
I mean, that's what they love. So
Fucking love it. But yeah, I clocked that. I was like, you're being smart. The top 3 love each other and it's gorgy.
we like that.
Yeah. Spanky sings her... so they do, the song... It's Who Is She? Like a dancey remix.
Yeah.
Spanky's verse slays. She sings a little bit, which I thought was good. Not just the rappage.
Yeah. Which we like.
Queen's is fantastic.
Yes.
And she does the signature body roll
Yep.
at the end. Hannah's cute. Hannah's outfit in the dance bit, though, probably the only Hannah look I was like not sold on.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the 80s
Maybe she's running
glam
out of
wig.
running out of
Hannah
ideas.
looks at this point. But then the finale eleganza, they look stunning. Hannah in purple, looking royal.
Mm-hmm.
Queen in a gorgeous like Pacifica inspired headpiece, looking stunning.
It's amazing.
Spanky looking still a little trash, but also fantastic.
Yeah, looking
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, like glamorous Spanky style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legs covered for probably the first time
Ever.
She saved it and never do it again. And we get the final lip sync, which is to Wow by Kylie, which is great. I don't love this though when they do the final lip sync and they all do it separately.
Oh, because Rue wants to see them all.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then they awkwardly kind of cut it together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it gives them an opportunity for a bit of editing sabo.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is television. What do you expect?
Exactly.
So, but I'm with you there. They should all 3 of them on stage at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Spanky's the winner. She yells, "Fuck yeah!"
Which is her catch cry.
So good.
Which is her catch cry.
I think she's such an iconic winner because no one like her up until this point, I think, has ever won.
No.
Don't you think?
No, not on any season I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think maybe the Vivienne. Like the UK's version.
Oh, but the Vivien's
different.
Real
like the Vivien's more polished.
Like
to me.
a lot.
Personality-wise, maybe, but the Vivien's polished as
Yeah,
hell.
true. I can't think of anyone
Yeah.
anywhere like Spanky, just in terms of the attitude and that being so strong that you win. So what a great season. Before you go, Shane, let's talk about Bring Back My Girls, season 2, episode 5, where they bring back the cast of Drag Race Down Under season 2.
I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
They talk about this for me, a reunion.
Yeah, that was my first question.
Where the fuck is the reunion?
Pamara's like, when you came out for the reunion, and I was like, what? What reunion?
What reunion?
What are you talking about? Do you
Great.
think she meant like, I don't know, when they, because you know how they do like a watch party in Sydney? Do you think she meant
probably that. Yeah, it's probably that.
Could have been that, like
Yeah.
when they watched the first episode at the Opera House or whatever.
Because I was like, there was no reunion. And if there was, it's not been released yet. And I was like, wait, did I miss an episode?
No, they wouldn't shoot a reunion and not. No. But I had this, that was my first question to you. How weird.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Yeah. I actually love this Bring Back My Girls format. Clearly, it's just like a little way for Rue to sell some canned cocktails.
100%.
But I love T.S. Madison.
I love T.S. Madison.
She's great.
She's fantastic.
And then just this opportunity to get Minnie and Pamara once again going at it. And also this fan that I'm obsessed with, the person
Which one?
from the audience that asks the question.
Which one,
It's
though?
like fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, that one, yes.
That one. And then that's kind of where it kicks off. I love that, like, have you seen, like, Minnie's, like, done a little Instagram live thing with them? And,
No, I have
apparently
not.
there's some, like, prolific
Drag Race
fan. Yeah,
Right,
which
okay.
I love. Yeah, so what we thought.
I love Minnie. I loved it. Clearly, Minnie and Pamara are pressed, and I think Minnie's more pressed than Pamara about the whole thing.
I don't think
I was
that
not
much.
expecting it to go that south, where Minnie walked off stage.
Yeah.
she feels disrespected, and I get that. You know, when you get talked over the top of, there's a person at work who's doing that at the moment, and I could just fucking kill. I got not in my team, but just someone I work with, and it's just like, you know what? If you keep talking, you're not listening, right? And that's what's happening here. So yeah,
Yes.
but. I mean, just the shady comments from Minnie.
I know, and poor Minnie. I'm so glad it's finally aired because they filmed it ages ago, and I think she was a bit stressed about how it was going to be received. But of course, everyone's just like, "Yes, mother, walk off."
Yeah, it was really sad to hear how she was a bit traumatized filming the season, which makes me think she won't come back.
True. I mean, never say never, but yeah, I think I asked her actually when she was on when we recapped Real Housewives of Sydney, and yeah, it doesn't seem like something she's that excited about, but you never know.
Yeah. And
maybe he's a judge or something. That'd be fun.
Do you reckon she had to audition, or do you think she was like told to audition?
I have no idea. I think from what I've heard, it's a bit of both.
Yeah. Because Rue's like been and gone out to bars in Sydney because her husband's from Perth, right? So she's seen Minnie on stage before, so she knows what Minnie's.
I think Rue's been out in bars in Sydney in 1984.
No, but that's what I mean. Like she knows an old queen from Sydney in Australia. She knows what she's going to get with that, so she's like, let's get her to come on as well.
Yeah.
So you know, I think.
Who do you hope's on season 4?
Oh, do you know? I would love to see Melbourne Queen Lexi Gaga.
I love Lexi Gaga. You know, I've known Lexi Gaga since we were like 16.
I know you've known her since you were 16.
Do I tell you that every time?
No, not every time, but like I know that.
Love you,
Lexi.
Lexi.
You guys go to school with her or something?
No, we just kind of like met like online.
Yeah, right.
Like when we were like
on MySpace.
Teenagers. Yeah, probably something like that.
I would love to see her, and then I'd love to see Vanity from Sydney. Could you imagine those two on a fucking
Something
season?
tells me Vanity's like not interested. I don't know.
She only wanted to be on season 1.
She's got too much to lose. She's too.
I don't think
already.
she does. I think she can come in and just show like her amazing talent.
Yeah.
But she's got in her mind that she should have only been on the first season, and that's all that matters.
I would like to see Carla from Bankstown.
Oh my God, Carla from Bankstown. Fuck
I don't know
yes.
if Rue would get it, but it would be.
It would
great.
be heaven. It'd be heaven.
And
And you know she's been on TV
exactly,
before.
she knows.
So
yeah.
yeah, well we love Carla. Oh my God,
I
I
know.
love Carla.
Hey Shane, thanks so much for coming and reliving the magic that
Thanks
is
for having
down
me.
to season 2. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
So fun to talk to Shane this week about Drag Race. Next week is the last week of the off season because then we jump straight into Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels.